Hey everyone, Andrew Summerham here, and this is Elected Zero Channel. Ever wonder why some people seem awake while others are still sleepwalking through a world of illusions? There's a reason you're reading this right now. You're one of the elected, being called to awaken. While most of humanity is stuck in the endless loop of work, pay bills, and die, something inside you screams for something more. You feel it, don't you? Lately, you've been experiencing strange sensations, intense déjà vu, unexplainable synchronicities, a deep dissatisfaction with normal, and an insatiable thirst for answers that society just can't provide. It's no coincidence. These are the first signs of your spiritual awakening. The elected are being activated en masse at this crucial moment in human history, and you're part of this cosmic movement. What you don't know is that these experiences are just the tip of the iceberg. There's a much deeper world of possibilities waiting for you, a realm of personal power, divine connection, and purpose that goes beyond anything you ever imagined possible. And the most amazing part? You were born with all these capabilities. They were just dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Spiritual awakening is like waking up from a deep dream, that moment when the elected start to question everything they thought they knew. It's as if the curtains of reality are suddenly pulled back, and a whole new dimension of existence is revealed. Many of the elected report an initial feeling of discomfort, like they've been wearing glasses with the wrong prescription for years and finally found the right lenses. The changes start subtly: a disinterest in old routines, a restlessness with the mundane, and an unexplainable search for something greater. During this transformative process, the elected often experience a kind of existential hangover, that feeling that something fundamental has shifted internally, but the outside world remains the same. It's like getting a software upgrade while everyone around you is still running old versions. People start noticing changes in their sleep patterns, increased sensitivity to energetically dense environments, and often develop a deep need to spend more time alone, processing their new perceptions and understandings. The elected begin to realize that the world is much more than what meets the eye. It's like getting a special pair of glasses that allow you to see the invisible fabric of life in high definition. Coincidences are no longer mere chance occurrences. They become clear signs from the universe, as if someone is leaving breadcrumbs along the path. It's common, for example, to start seeing certain numbers repeatedly, like 1111 or 333, to receive synchronized messages through songs that play at the exact moment of an important reflection, or to meet people who bring precisely the message needed for that moment. As this perception expands, the elected begin to notice how colors seem more vibrant, as if someone has turned up the contrast and saturation of reality. The sunset is not just a natural phenomenon, but an explosion of colors that tells stories through its hues. The wind in the trees is not just air in motion, but a dance that carries messages. This new way of perceiving the world brings a deeper understanding of everyday situations. A traffic jam might be a warning from the universe to avoid something. A chance encounter might be a divine opportunity for transformation. The elected often find themselves at an emotional crossroads when it comes to old relationships. It's like cleaning out your closet and realizing that some clothes no longer fit. Friendships that once seemed fundamental begin to lose their luster. Conversations that were once exciting become empty, and a sense of displacement arises in environments that were once comfortable. This process can feel lonely, like being the only one who can see colors in a black and white world, but it's a necessary part of the journey. The transformation in relationships happens naturally, like leaves falling in autumn to make way for new flowers in spring. The elected begin to attract people who vibrate at the same frequency, those who are also searching for something greater. It's common, for example, to lose interest in noisy parties and prefer more intimate gatherings with deep conversations, or to feel more connected with people who practice meditation, yoga, or seek personal development. When the truth begins to reveal itself, the elected face their first big test, the confrontation with fear. It's like being in a dark room and starting to see shadows that have always been there, but were previously ignored. The illusions that once brought comfort begin to unravel, revealing truths that can be challenging to accept. For example, realizing that a secure job might be a gilded cage, or that a perfect relationship might be based on emotional dependency. The process of facing these truths is like peeling an onion. Each layer removed may bring tears, but it leads to a deeper understanding. The elected discover that fear is just a teacher in disguise, showing exactly where they need to grow. It's common to feel afraid of being judged, of losing loved ones, or of making drastic changes, but it is precisely through this fear that one finds the true courage to follow the call of the soul. One of the most profound discoveries the elected make is realizing that time is not the straight line they always imagined. It's more like a river that meanders, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes even still. They begin to notice how an hour of meditation can feel like 5 minutes, while 5 minutes of anxiety can feel like an eternity. This understanding brings a radical shift in the way they live. It's no longer about racing against time, but flowing with it. The present becomes the only real moment, like a dance where each step is perfectly synchronized with the music of the universe. The elected begin to practice the art of truly being present, whether washing dishes, talking to someone, or contemplating the sky. It's like discovering that there's a pause button for the mental rush, allowing them to savor each moment fully and discover the magic hidden in the simple things of everyday life. The spiritual journey of the elected is marked by a deep sense of connection with the cosmos, as if they can suddenly tune into a radio frequency that was always there, but they never noticed before. They begin to notice significant patterns in their lives. Coincidental encounters with people who bring important messages, premonitory dreams, or that strong intuition that always proves correct. It's like having an invisible team of spiritual advisors always nearby. Spiritual guides manifest in surprising ways, sometimes through a book that coincidentally falls off the shelf, other times through a butterfly that insists on landing nearby, or even through that specific song that plays on the radio at exactly the right moment. The elected learn to recognize these signs as a universal language of guidance. For example, they may repeatedly receive the same advice from different people in a short period, or find answers to their deepest questions through symbols and synchronicities in their daily lives. Intuition becomes an internal compass for the elected, far more reliable than any mental GPS they've ever used before. It's like having a sixth sense that whispers profound truths directly into the soul, bypassing the barriers of conventional logic. This inner knowing manifests in various ways: that gut feeling before an important decision, an unexplainable feeling that something isn't right, or that deep certainty that comes from the heart. To develop this intuitive ability, the elected learn to create moments of silence in their lives, whether through morning meditation, contemplative walks in nature, or simply turning off their cell phones for a few hours. It's like cleaning their spiritual ears to better hear the wisdom that has always been available. Many begin by keeping an intuition journal, writing down their hunches, and later checking their accuracy. Limiting patterns are like invisible chains that the elected need to identify and break. They are those inner voices that say, "You are not capable," "This is too risky," or "What will others think?" It's like doing a deep clean in the basement of the mind, finding dusty beliefs that were inherited from family, society, or past traumatic experiences. Liberation begins when these patterns are recognized and questioned. The process of breaking these patterns is like learning to ride a bike again. At first, there may be imbalances and falls, but each attempt brings more confidence. The elected begin to experience new ways of being and acting. Someone who has always been shy begins to express themselves more. Those who have always been controlling learn to trust the flow of life. Those who lived in the future learn to savor the present. As the spiritual journey deepens, the elected discover abilities that seem to exist only in movies or esoteric books. It's like finding out you've always had superpowers, but never knew how to activate them. Some develop an increased sensitivity to energies, being able to feel the energy fields of people and places. Others discover healing abilities, whether through touch, Reiki practice, or simply through their harmonizing presence. These gifts are not the prerogative of a select few. but natural abilities that awaken when the being is aligned with their divine essence. It's like a garden that blooms naturally when it receives proper care. The elected learn to use these abilities with responsibility and wisdom, understanding that each gift comes with a mission to serve the greater good. For example, someone who develops clairvoyance can help others find clarity in moments of confusion, or those who develop healing abilities can help people restore their energetic balance. If these revelations resonated deeply within you, it's because your spirit recognizes these ancestral truths. As one of the elected, you possess a unique sensitivity to understand these messages that transcend the ordinary. However, knowledge without implementation remains only as unexplored potential. Reflect. What is the true cost of ignoring your spiritual calling? What transformations await when you finally embrace your true nature? The universe has been sending signals. Are you ready to answer them? Begin your conscious journey today. Dedicate moments to contemplative silence. Observe the synchronicities that the universe manifests in your path. Record your perceptions and intuitive insights. Your experience is unique and valuable. Share it in the comments. How has your spiritual journey been? What revelations have transformed your perspective? Your words may be the light that illuminates the path of another, elected one seeking direction. To continue your journey of conscious expansion with this community of seekers, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. New knowledge and spiritual revelations await your awakening. The time to manifest your true essence is now. Ancient wisdom calls you. This is just the beginning.